Well, I think the hot temperatures of summer have finally broken out here. Had what I believe is the hottest summer I've ever seen. Our weather station gave us a reading of 107 degrees on one day in July. I've never seen it that hot. I've never seen so many days over 100 here in Springville. And this is the first full summer that we've had this greenhouse up and running. Obviously, I was hoping not to have such a hot summer for the first summer, but I think in large part it did pretty well. So I thought I'd do an update, talk a little about temperature and how we managed it, and then show you some of the plants and trees. What I found on those hot days above 100 is that this greenhouse generally stays about 5 to 10 degrees below that high temperature, depending on where the sensor is. The one on the floor stays cooler, it's over there. I've got a couple sensors that are higher up that were warmer. We have always had a goal to be in the 80s here and not higher. Well, we certainly went well above there. And so we've got plans for next summer, but I'll show you kind of what we've done and what I would do differently. I'm walking into the suction room right now, and you can see I've got some watermelons growing in this grow box over here. This is mulch from my yard in this bag in this little hill here. I bring mulch when I do branches and leaves and bring it over here, and my goal is to transition this floor to a really nice living floor with lots of mulch and healthy life. But suction room, these are the suction room pipes here in the corner. There are 12 of them. If I could do it again, I would double these up and have 24. And the reason why is when my fans go on, the two outside fans are my summer fans. The middle fan is the winter fan. They're looking for more air than they can draw out of those pipes. And that's why we put a vent here, so that it could draw additional air through the vent. Well, that introduces outside air, which isn't ideal in a greenhouse unless you really have to keep it cool. So in hindsight, I wish I had twice as many pipes there. I also wish I would have run them twice as long. These run about 56 feet, I believe, and then come out in the yard, but they fall into the same trench as the main pipes. So if I were doing it all over, I would have doubled up on pipes and I would have run them at least 150 feet. That would introduce more air and more cold air because of the longer underground run. So if you're looking at one of these kits, that would be a strong recommendation for me. You can see the electrical on the wall, the fans. This blue box, by the way, is part of the solar system we're gonna put on here. Before winter is the goal. Coming into the main grow room here. I think I'll start, if you've seen any of the previous videos, there's the dragon fruit, and it has grown a ton over the summer. It has gone up this hog panel to the point where we've got to add some more panels or netting, because the goal is to run the dragon fruit all the way up the ceiling and just keep it on the ceiling. And that's the south wall. By contrast, this is the north wall. Look how thin these stalks are. And this is because the north wall does not get full sun in the summer. It does fall through spring, but it is not in the sun in the summer. And but I'm gonna leave them there. I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna see if we can grow them up the ceiling. They'll obviously get back into the sun as the earth shifts, not the sun, but the earth shifts, and we get sun on this back wall. This is the, name escapes me, passion fruit. You can see it's kind of a vine, and it's gotten up to the top of the hog panel as well. So that has grown a bunch this year. Bananas have been doing really well this summer. They've been kind of fun to have here. We ordered 2 of them, but they keep throwing off pups. So we've moved them around. We've put a couple in pots, and they're doing great. There's a Eureka lemon. The fig tree has grown, it's got to be more than 8 feet tall now, and it has been throwing fruit all summer long, and it is really tasty. And in hindsight, I would have put this over on the south side because it would, because it gets so tall so quickly, it would provide shade during the summer, which would be nice. Pomegranate's grown, it's doubled in size. and it's doing really well. You can see it's got some fruit on it. The tomatoes that I put are still throwing fruit. I planted some of these at the end of February, and they are a good 10 to 15 feet long. We've trellised them up and then let them drop off where we've stopped running netting up at the top there. And they keep growing and they keep throwing fruit, which has been really fun. In hindsight, I would have planted them like this guy. This guy I started from seed in my grow room at my house. And in hindsight, I'd push them as far to the south in this grow box as possible and just run them up the ceiling. And that allows us to use the rest of the grow bed if we choose to for something else. Pineapple. We're just getting ready to do a fall order, and we're going to order some more tropicals and pineapples. Now that we're cooling down, it'll be more comfortable. This is our lime. I put some string around it to try to keep the fruit off the ground. It's got a bunch of fruit on it. And you can see there's another recently planted tomato, which I'm going to try on the north wall. What I found is these tomatoes on the north wall have not fruited nearly as well as on the south wall, and that's because of sunlight. But now that we're going to start coming back into sunlight, I thought it'd be fun to see how it does. These are sun sugars here, and I eat them every time I'm out here. This is is it a Valencia? Washington Navel variety here. There's another one there. This is a banana that we moved over and put in a pot. Got some artichokes in both beds to see how they do. This is a little peanut butter tree. It's only grown about 6 or 8 inches, but it is a fun variety if we can make it work, and it's been healthy all summer long. What has struggled during this hot summer is the mangoes. You can see we've got new growth, but the leaves have been falling. I don't know if it's the aphids, we've had an aphid problem, or if it is just the dry air we're pushing around to keep this thing from getting too hot. But the mangoes have struggled. You can see some growth down there. And mangoes are important to us, so we'll keep trying. If we lose the mangoes, we'll try again. We'll plant them differently. We'll manage the greenhouse so that they eventually work, because it would be really cool if they did. Another one that has not made it, starfruit. We lost our starfruit, and we'll try that one again. This one, again, I don't know if it was the aphids or the hot summer dry air coming through here. There's a guava over there. The guava has had a lot of aphids on it, so we've lost some leaves on it, but it's had new growth and seems to be doing okay. It's a hardy tree. The grow beds, we've harvested a lot of lettuce out of these grow beds, and herbs and greens do very well. This is the Aquaponics. They do very well here. We've had them up in the rafts. We get some new lettuce up in the rafts. We're not even using all of our little areas because it's been keeping ahead of us. The fish, we've lost a couple rainbows. One jumped out, and I think the temperature of the water got up around 69, 70 degrees. Those rainbows really want to be 65 degrees or cooler. Let's see if I can get any of them to come to the surface here. This is my automatic feeder. It feeds once a day, and it fed about an hour ago. And the goldfish have sure grown, and they're just really casual. They stay up near the top, but the rainbows, they stay on the bottom. These pellets will sink down to where they're at, so I don't know if I can get any of them to come up. They come up real quick and grab the food and go. But it's been really fun having this little fish pond in here with the viewing window, and of course fish water to use on the trees and plants as a form of fertilizer and just healthy nutrition. It's quiet in here. It's warm today, but not so hot that the fans are going on. Tried some sweet potatoes in one of these aquaponic grow beds. So that's a quick tour of what's going on here on the inside. We're gonna do some fall replants of some tropicals, probably late September, and I'll do another video and show you the new inhabitants here. But if anyone has any suggestions for the aphids, they've been rough on us. We've tried ladybugs, but the ladybugs won't work during the summer. They're unionized and they refuse to work in the summer. And we've used a neem oil spray. That has helped, but still to this day, we've got some aphids in here. But we're cooling down. It's nice and humid and tropical in here once again. And so I think I'll leave the update at that. Love your suggestions or questions, and we'll leave it there for now.